Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are seeing this title, right? I figured, why sit here and type when we can just go live? I can drop the Lizzie, I can drop that link, and we can just get shit popping right now. You know what I mean? First and foremost, welcome. It's your boy Dope Boy Diesel. You know what I'm saying? We are in the Doja Room, of course. All right. Let me just go ahead and drop this link for homie. He can he can hop in here. He can hop in this bitch whenever he want to. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna debate it up a little bit. Um First, let me get to I was in a little timeout real quick. I'm not gonna hold you. But that's besides the point. We'll get to that in the next show. I was on a little bit of a timeout for a little quick minute, but now I can respond. Okay, now I can respond. So just to get people caught up, this is about this video that I dropped. It's talking about obviously this viral clip that's going around, speaking on Kendrick's most important album being his next one. Okay. First, let me just go ahead and make sure I'm dropping this link for niggas. Okay, because I don't want niggas to think that we running. Okay, I don't want niggas to think that we running. So hold on, forward. Okay. Uh, Let me get shit right real quick. All right. Hopefully too many people don't, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to delete that afterwards. But yeah, okay. So basically we had this video going on, and yeah, it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting to say the least. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of what set my
think
comment section on fire and what sparked this little debate while homie go ahead and he loads up in here real quick. Okay, so let's just play this. So I think, and y'all can go ahead and watch the video yourselves, obviously, but I think this is a valid point. If you think that Kendrick's facade is not fading, if you think that this beef hasn't exposed him in ways that he's never been exposed before, I mean, we'll get into it a little bit when homie loads up, if he loads up. But just think about the countless amount of ways that Kendrick Lamar he's overhyped. And again, it's a lot of this is what I'm saying is because, how I said before, a lot of you guys put this pressure on him. A lot of you guys as fans put this pressure on him. So, it is what it is. But I see homie loaded up. What's going on, homie?
What's good, bro?
I wanted to get into, because obviously you had a lot to say. I made a whole video. You made a whole video. So I want to just make it fair so that, we both get our points across, and what you saying can be heard or what I'm saying could be heard. But I want to start on the point of just what the video was about and what I started breaking down, because I went the route of this is 100% accurate. I understand what they're trying to say, and my point was just articulating that a little bit better, of saying that, like I said in the video, Kendrick Lamar, his entire facade is gone. That the mystique around him, all of the picture that y'all paint. I mean, what's really left after he's put himself in this light to where now we can really pick him apart? Now we're not just letting anything fly. So I mean, how can you disagree that his facade is not fading?
I mean, I can disagree because it's just shit you see on social media, bro. Like y'all were picking him apart during the battle. Y'all were picking him apart when Like That dropped. Y'all would pick him apart and pretty much say more or less the exact same shit that y'all are saying now. Like when Kendrick fans would pop the fuck off before the battle even started, and like it was just kind of friendly. I don't say friendly competition, but just like subs sent back and forth between Drake fans and Kendrick fans. Like the only difference that I'm seeing now when it comes to the facade or whatever it is that you're talking about is just echo chambers have gotten louder. The beef divided the stand bases like crazy, so everybody's algorithm is just basically pumping to them the shit that they already believe, bro. This is the same shit. Because you call me a K-bot. I'm actually not. Like, I don't even have Kendrick. I literally don't have Kendrick as like one of my 10 favorite rappers. But what I'm seeing, bro, just from like someone, I'm
You
not gonna say
you
I'm
you
down the
got a
middle.
lot. You have a lot loaded in the chamber to defend him for somebody who
Bro,
don't got him
it's
in
just,
his top 10.
it's just because, bro, it's just like these past 2 years have just been crazy fascinating to me to watch both sides because, like, neither side is actually logical or rational when it comes to this stuff. Like I was saying, bro, it's just the algorithm feeding niggas shit. You got the goofy ass Kendrick fans over here talking about Iceman came and went, and it's like, well, factually speaking, no, it didn't. Like, commercially, the thing is still popping off. It's lasted
Okay, so
longer
you're
on the
not that
chart.
far gone.
I'm not far gone at all,
So
bro. It's
you're
just
not that
I'm
far.
like I'm not in either direction. Like when them niggas was on there talking about it's the dot era because Kendrick was going crazy the last 2 years commercially. You look through my tweets, I can put it back up. I literally was like, bro, y'all niggas are gonna regret saying this shit because when Drake does come back outside, he's a bigger, more commercially viable artist. So his career isn't dead. You niggas have just got yourselves wind up because you got a bunch of niggas saying the exact same shit. And on the contrary, it's the same thing on you niggas' side. Like, yes, bro, Iceman is up right now. I fuck with the album. I like the album. But at the same time, my nigga, like, the facade of Kendrick Lamar has crumbled, and like now this nigga has to show and prove all over again. Like, what
It
the fuck does he
is.
have to? What
It
does he have to
is.
show and prove? What
It
does he have
is
to show and prove?
because at the end of the day, we we never seen Kendrick under this much scrutiny from whether it's true or not, from the abuse of Whitney, him beating Whitney, the Dave Free shit. I mean, so many different angles that we've started looking at Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I've never sat here and looked back and sat back and said, okay. And again, it's mostly hit the fans. It's his fans why I say what I say. It's the pressure that they put on him. It's these guys who saying that, oh well, Iceman came and went, just like how you said. So at the end of the day, we can't get mad when Drake fans come around when Kendrick drops and we're trying to hold Kendrick to that same standard. I even in here, I said, Drake fans tolerated Kendrick fans and Kendrick for a good long time. All the Grammys that he won, everything that was being said when it came down to comparing them as rappers, it was never this deep. It didn't get this deep until it became this, all right, I'm going to label you a pedophile. We're going to start making up lies. We're going to start digging up shit that doesn't exist. Y'all well, I'm maybe not you, but y'all got to realize Drake fans were activated in a way that they have never been before. And as a Drake fan, I can tell you, I've never seen Drake fans this rabid, this activated, this unified. So I can't look at Drake fans and be like, nah, you guys do the same things. It's both sides. They have always been trying to scrutinize Drake and say that he can't rap and he's not real hip hop. And this Drake fans wasn't going around telling Kendrick fans, "Oh, this is not real hip hop." We never felt
No.
the need to go out of our way and tell Kendrick fans this shit.
Well, no, true. Y'all would say different stuff. Like Kendrick is pretentious. Kendrick is a media darling. Like there was ways y'all would undercut it. But I'm gonna touch on a couple of things that you said because one, you said you haven't seen Kendrick like under this scrutiny before. But bro, it's scrutiny from Drake fans. It's not scrutiny from like objective parties or people with actually in the industry. Like yeah, academics is calling this nigga out, and academics TV is calling this nigga out, but like by and large, it's just literally Drake fans calling Kendrick out. And my point that I was saying in that post was, bro, there's nothing Kendrick's going to be able to reasonably accomplish that's gonna satiate you niggas anyways. Because if he does pop the fuck off commercially, y'all are just gonna say, "Oh, it's fucking bots." UMG has put the whole machine behind him. He could sell like fucking 650K first week. He could have three number ones, and y'all go, "Oh, it's dominating on the radio, so that shit doesn't count." Drake has still had 100 million streams or get like. There's nothing that he can do. So when y'all are saying like show and prove, and Drake fans were activated, to me it's just a continuation of the Stan Wars of 2024. And I get, like, to a degree, I understand why y'all are just like, bro, like, he called Drake a pedophile, and like that kind of pushes a border, or that does like push a limit. But bro, like, Kendrick literally told this nigga 4 times on 3 different songs, keep it a friendly fade. Don't speak on the family, Crody. If you take it there, I'll take it further. That nigga Drake said, fuck it, my nigga. It's already done. And called that nigga a wife beating cuck, raising the bastard children of Dave Free and Whitney, and then told that nigga's girl, no, sorry, he called that nigga's girl a bitch and told her to shake his ass for her. Like, bro, that nigga basically said that nigga's whole family is so pussy. The closest thing to a man is his trans uncle. Before Kendrick ever said anything about no fake daughter, no fucking pedophile, Drake did that. And then y'all be like, well, this nigga just telling lies. Bro, there has literally been no actual confirmed real life evidence that did not come from the website Media Takeout, which is where that interview of that fat white chick who was the security guard that heard Kendrick beat some woman who they never said the name Whitney. She never actually heard it from the woman's mouth. She heard it from somebody else, and it was reported by Media Takeout. That literally is the only thing that people have in regards to holding that over Kendrick's head. And the funniest thing is, I can provide you with this link because, again, I've just been fascinated with this whole thing. You can literally pull a Media Takeout article from 2015 that says Drake has a 2-year-old daughter by a Miami bottle girl, which would make her 11 years old in 2024. It was Media Takeout to Media Takeout. So it annoys me when y'all take this high road of like, Drake was making it a clean, fair battle, and Kendrick decided to take it left and call this nigga a pedophile out of. Like, he didn't call that man a pedophile out of nowhere, bro. Like, come on, like, just keep it real.
That is crazy. I can't agree that it's calling a nigga a pedophile. He said I was with some bodyguard. I'd be with some bodyguards like Whitney. Okay, so we jumped to calling him a pedophile
No,
after
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no. That was push-ups. What did he say on Family Matters?
No,
What did he say about Whitney on Family Matters?
what did he
Remember,
say on Meet the Grams? Because there's no way he could have listened to Family Matters and then properly rebuttal and even record, put all of it out, mix, master. There's no way. So
no,
he
you're
already
right. You're
had
right.
that
Give me a
loaded
second.
up. He was already talking like that.
No, no, no. So give me a second, because I'm literally going to address that. But first, just tell me what he said on Family Matters. Because remember, I just want to establish the order of which these things happen. Kendrick dropped like that and basically said, fuck the big three, it's just big me. Your best work is a light pack. I'm the more artistic artist. You're the more commercially pop artist with the whole Prince Outlive Mike Jack thing. Drake dropped push-ups that with some bodyguard like Whitney. Like, it was like a little sub, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. Kendrick on Euphoria basically said that Drake is not a good father, which, okay, fair enough. That's not great. But then on Family Matters, what did Drake do? Tell me what Drake said about Whitney, about Kendrick, because I like how people be like, well, Kendrick called Drake a pedophile. That's just a step too far. And it's like,
He
okay,
was calling him a pedophile before that.
on what? On what song did he call Drake a pedophile?
No, on Meet the Grams.
Meet the Grams came after Family Matters dropped. Family Matters dropped, and then Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams 30 minutes later. Now, now, if your point is he already had that loaded in the chamber, I don't disagree. That's facts. But Drake dropped Family Matters first. Kendrick let drop. Kendrick let Drake drop Family Matters first and let him get his shit off. And then he's like, okay, if we're mudslinging and we're pulling up Media Takeout articles and we're accusing each other of crimes that will damage each other's reputation, I already got something to tug for you, my boy. And then he dropped fucking Meet the Grams 20 minutes later, however many minutes later. But Drake dropped Family Matters first. We can't bullshit on the timeline, my guy. Like, it was Like that, nothing heavy. Push-ups, nothing heavy. Euphoria, nothing heavy. Family Matters, wife beating cuck, raising the bastard children of Dave, Free, and Whitney. Bitch, shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for free. Then it was, you and Weinstein deserve to get fucked up in the cell for the rest of your life, and certified lover boy, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. That's how that went down, bro. That was the correct timeline.
Uh, correct.
Factually speaking.
So, but what exactly happened after that? Because at the end of the day, even still, I don't even think any of that equates to calling somebody a pedophile, saying
Well,
Curry, keep the family away. And then after that, it wasn't like it was just something that, okay, he said it and then, all right, it was beef, it was crazy. No, niggas actually believed that shit. Niggas was actually digging and trying to piece together all of this weird shit, and that's what made Drake fans say, oh, okay, we can do this too. We can really dig this shit up. We can really find, like, I remember vividly all of these articles about Kendrick whooping on Whitney and shit. Like, that shit didn't just pop out the next day. It happened after niggas was dead ass taking all this pedophile shit seriously. Like, and it was like, oh, y'all really believe this? Oh, we're really we're really gonna act like this is the God honest truth. Oh, okay. All right, we can do that too. Like, we can do that too. And then you're right, to a certain degree, it's like it becomes a mudslinging contest back and forth after a certain while. But I just never like the it's both sides debate, because at the end of the day, for me personally, I never hang on that point. I'm not one of the Drake fans who, oh, he beat Whit. I don't do all of that, because I need solid evidence. I need hardcore, solid, irrefutable evidence. Unless we doing that, you're not going to hear me really pushing that on this show ever. So you can go back any episode. I'm never really pushing that Kendrick's a woman beater point. That's never really been my point. And vice versa when it comes down to Drake. I know he's not a pedophile. But depending on, like, for instance, had you come on here being like, oh, Drake's a fucking pedophile, I probably would have been like, well, Kendrick's a fucking woman. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have gave that energy. But it really just depends on who you're talking to.
I mean, you're not wrong, bro. Like, I don't even, like, I'm not putting that on you. I wasn't saying you. I was speaking in general.
No,
but
I understand that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, like, my point was, because we're just going to tie this back to what we were talking about. Like, I can't say his facade is crumbled, because, like, the only people who you will see consistently to be like, Kendrick Lamar is a wife beater, the midget, like, peaked with when it comes to Drake. His whole career is just based off of Drake. That's one core audience, and that's Drake fans. And are they entitled to feel that way? Is it justified? You could argue that, because I'm blocked by Curtis King. Charles Brown, like, has called me out in multiple videos based off my tweet, kind of similar to you have. Like, bro, like, that side kind of completely lost the plot. Like, as you can tell, I firmly believe Kendrick Lamar won. Like, I firmly believe Kendrick Lamar
on the media side of things. Think of how lopsided things have been on the media side of things.
Well, time out. Now, on the media, are we talking about media or content creators? Because we're talking about content creators,
media.
Okay, well, content creators, you're
both.
Right. Like, I agree with that. I don't know about both, but with the content creators, yes, bro. Like, literally.
Who's been speaking up for Drake on the media side since 2024? Who's been speaking up for 20? I'll give you Cameron and Mace.
Cameron and Mace, Academics has,
and Academics, of course, that's a given.
What DJ Head's co-host? What's her Gina? Like, bro, Gina will push back against, like, the stupid shit that DJ Head will say consistently, bro. Demars has done it, bro.
I haven't seen Demars do it enough.
Schultz has done it with Charlamagne. Like, bro, like, even Joe Budden. Like, Joe Budden is not objective, but Joe Budden has been like, bro, like, when Drake does good, in his opinion, like, he'll say Drake did good. Like, he'll also, like, he'll also take shots at Drake. So I'm not saying the nigga is, like, totally unbiased, but we can't correlate. We definitely cannot correlate the content creators who basically have just made a living off getting clicks for hating on Drake to actual media bias. It comes to kicking his back.
Look at people like the Company Man, who spent years in this industry, who effectively turned his channel to a
Uh,
Drake channel, a Drake hate. I mean, he's basically a Drake fan page channel.
well, I don't know. See,
It's all
again, like,
Drake
'cause,
and Kendrick. I mean, come on.
okay, so I do like a lot of admin for what I do for work. So I listen to like a lot of shit in the background. What comes on, I listen to. I've listened to shit like pretty much throughout the day. That's what I say about the company, man. No shade, like respect to the company, man. I don't think his platform is a Drake. I don't think his channel is a Drake hate channel. I do think he platforms a lot of Drake haters. Like the most disappointed I think I've ever been, because like I fuck with Justin, like legitimately. I read his shit like when I was like in fucking like fifth grade and shit. So like I fuck with Justin. But bro, that dude put on the poetic justice theory nigga, whose theory was like Kendrick ghost wrote poetic justice for Drake and got him to diss it. Like it was the stupidest fucking shit I'd ever heard in my life. And he platformed that nigga. And he platforms niggas who do
But he
basically
does that, and
make their
he
content
entertains a
hating on
lot
Drake.
of these crazy ideas, though.
Like,
It's not like he doesn't entertain these ideas on a video
oh,
just sitting by himself.
oh,
I mean, think about, he was a part of that Is Drake a MAGA campaign. He was a part
yeah,
of
that
all
was
of that
crazy.
shit.
I ain't
And
gonna
when
hold you on
he
that one.
make
That's
and
crazy.
when he aligns with shit like that, it's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? How are we over here having a culture united with Professor Sky in the background with a fucking Confederate flag? And
Fucking
Anthony
Blasty Malone on
Fantano.
there who's admitted to be MAGA. So like, yeah, I mean, you're right.
But
Hey, look,
it's stuff like that. And then how do we not at the same time? I would respect him if we at the same time we're gonna make a Drake is Drake MAGA video, but then what, a day or two later, it's going around that Jay Z sat down with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner,
he
had
actually
dinner
did
with them.
address
They're
that though.
kikiing. Why didn't we make videos about that?
No, he,
When
he
I see
actually
things
did.
like that, it makes me be like, all right, you niggas are
Uh,
disingenuous.
no, he actually did though. He actually did address that, and he addressed the Jay Z Target thing, and like he got like a lot of blowback from that shit. Like,
Did he make a
I'm not
video?
saying the niggas objective, and like that MAGA shit was actually crazy. So like, don't like, I'm not justified. I do respect Justin, and he's admitted to be like, bro, like everybody's biased. I don't think he's compromised. I don't think him personally is a Drake hate channel. He definitely does not like Drake. That's a fact. He'll admit that. So, I mean, there's just certain media personalities who don't like certain artists. Like Company Man may
For
not like
what
Drake,
though?
but hold on real quick.
For
Like,
what though? What does a nigga like the Company Man have? What reason does he have to not like Drake?
I mean, just
For
based
what?
off. I mean, I don't want to
What is
speak for
Drake?
him.
Did Drake fuck his bitch? Like, did what did Drake
Oh, I
like?
mean, come on, bro. Like, now hold on. Now, like again, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for him. If I can recall correctly, I think it was just the it's the whole cultural thing, cultural appropriation, so on and so forth. Like I'm not here to defend.
Those
I'm
arguments are stupid. Come
bro.
on.
I'm not here to defend his side of it. I think Drake is part of hip hop culture. I think that narrative is crazy. I've said as much. I think that's actually what got me blocked by Curtis King, because it was just like, bro, like I don't understand how y'all can say like the biggest hip hop artist of the entire decade is not part of hip hop history. The nigga's part of Young Money, which is like one of the most successful, trio in rap hip hop history ever. Like the man has collaborated with just countless amount of people and elevated their music commercially from a hip hop standpoint. Like Glass Malone likes to split hairs about it, and he's not from street urban culture. And I mean that's true. He's not from American street urban culture, but that those two things aren't necessarily 100% aligned. Where you have to be a part of street urban African American culture to be a part of hip hop culture. Like that shit was always stupid to me. So I'm not here to defend Justin Hunt, beliefs or whatever. I don't even know if I'm representing them correctly. I'm just saying that the actual media, like, I feel like there's a victimhood narrative with Drake. Like everybody turned on him, and it's because that Twitter social media bubble that like we're all kind of stuck in, it feels a lot realer than it actually is. Like, yes, Kendrick Lamar, quote unquote, accused Drake of being a pedophile. That happened. But there were no boycotts, like saying that, okay, like we're going to boycott Drake shows, we're going to boycott his album from the actual outside world. None of the brands that he was associated with dropped him. None of his sponsorships dropped him. He didn't have people coming forward or district attorneys or anything like that actually coming after him. Women's groups were not outside of the fucking embassy with picket signs saying "Get the rapist out of the fucking country" or whatever. Like, it was very much confined to social media and content creation, but the actual media, Fox, CNN, NBC, all these places, bro, it was just, oh, these niggas beef. Kendrick said some crazy shit about Drake. This song is catchy as fuck. He gonna do the Super Bowl, and then that was the end of it. Like, most people went on with their lives. Now, diehard Drake fans, not trying to make this sound like passive aggressive, but bro, like, you have Drake in your name. Like, you are a diehard Drake fan. You're gonna ride for this nigga. Fair enough. But
Fair
bro,
enough.
like, your experience is not like the normal person's experience, which brings me back to my point.
You're 100%.
Like, this brings back to my point. Like, bro, like, for most people, the mass majority that aren't in this Twitter war that you're in, bro, like, Kendrick doesn't really have anything to prove on this album. To y'all, sure, y'all have been at war with these goofy ass Kendrick fans, and they feel like they've been at war with goofy ass Drake fans. So literally, it's just a game of one-upmanship.
But
Okay,
that I
I know
acknowledge
y'all.
that I see, and I'm glad you say that because I acknowledge that I am not the regular Drake fan, and that's something I acknowledged on the show a couple of times. It it takes the people like us to, I guess, somewhat keep history straight. I feel like because nobody else is paying attention this much. This is just Drake is our daily in our daily lives. We already listen to him all the time, so it's nothing to say, well, that's not true or this is not what it is or you know what I'm saying? So little things like that it comes natural. But we acknowledge all the time that, the regular fans are not going to be this locked in to what's really going on. So that's why even when you hear little things like, oh, Drake's a pedophile and things like that, they aren't getting the full story or the full context of a lot of these bits and pieces that's coming out of the beef. But I mean, even with that being said, I usually try to, acknowledge that I understand that, these guys are not this deep in, but it's getting to the point where even these guys are like, well, wait, Kendrick has it, and I'm saying this. I'm not saying this just because I'm talking out of my ass. I'm walking through the streets of New York every day. I'm going. I mean, my life is wrapped around hip hop. I've been working in hip hop all my life. I've been around people in the industry all my life. So when I see even the casuals saying, well, what the fuck this nigga Kendrick winning all this shit for? Well, what the fuck? This nigga ain't dropped nothing since Not Like Us. How the fuck he and it's not even about Drake. It's about the peoples who are championing people like Glorilla, like Don Toliver, like Travis Scott or Lil Tecca, who are like, well, damn, my favorite artist been killing this year. How the fuck is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? They are tired of it, and slowly they're starting to be like, all right, so what's so special? You know what I'm saying? We don't get it. And already Kendrick is a acquired taste for most people, I would think, because as we get older, even the more and more the younger generation, even more he becomes even more of an acquired taste. I feel like him and Drake, they start to become old head music after a while because I mean, Drake is a little bit better at retaining a younger audience, and he has that dynamic more than anybody else of making new fans on that 17 to 21 level. But it's the casual slowly asking the question like, what's so special about this nigga? Like, what's the catch? Like, we don't get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's deeper than that, and it's not just me saying it. It's me hearing this. It's me seeing this sentiment. But I don't know. Maybe you're hearing something different. Maybe you out in the streets or wherever you are, and you hear different conversations. But that's just what I'm hearing.
I mean, no, I've heard that before, but the thing about it is, bro, like, I heard that shit like dating back like a decade. Like, Kendrick, this isn't a new thing. So when, like, people be like, oh, like UMG cooked the books for Kendrick, he's winning all these Grammys. It's like, I think the nigga got like 27 Grammys and shit, some shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like, bro, I don't know how many. I think it's 27 or
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
something
But
like that.
like, I researched it, bro, like a month or two ago, and like, bro, like, that nigga had 17 Grammys before like 2022. Like, niggas have been asking this question for a minute. Niggas was asking that question when fucking like Drake got up there and when he did the little interview with Elliot Wilson, and he was just like, and Rap Radar will give this verse of the decade or millennia or whatever, but like he was like kind of sarcastically putting it out there, but like yeah, like I myself have actually been like, bro, like this nigga gonna win all the awards, but it's been like that though. So like I don't really see this being like it's so much of a change. Like it feels like it's just a reset to normal, not necessarily like a big shift where now all of a sudden Kendrick's on his back foot and he has to prove it. Like Mr. Morale won like 5 fucking Grammys himself, and niggas like literally, like I said in the post I put to you, like the narrative coming out of that, not just from fans but from the two niggas that he dissed was, bro, like that shit was disappointing. Like you fell off. It may have won all these awards, but like the fuck, like that don't really mean shit. So I don't really feel like, even though what you're saying, I honestly believe you do run into that, but I don't again see that as Kendrick having something to prove or this album just being uber important. Again, just outside of the whole Twitter wars. For Twitter wars, yeah, this is a very big deal because if Kendrick shit does not perform the way it's supposed to, y'all gonna be on them Kendrick niggas next. They ain't gonna like it. So yeah, for
But
them, like
hey,
it's
I
life or
also
death.
came out and I said, hey, Drake fans, we do not need to be doing the same weird shit. I've said this. I've said, look, we don't need to be coming out talking about, oh, this shit came and went, and it's been spent 4 or 5 weeks at number one. I'm not here encouraging people to say crazy shit like that. I'm vehemently discouraging shit like that. I don't want to see Drake fans doing shit like how we've been seeing for the past 7 to 8 weeks of people just being straight delusional, saying the shit came and went. Oh, I don't see the virality of this album. I don't see how this is moving in the culture. All type of I literally had somebody tell me, yo, prove to me that Drake spent 4 weeks at number one. I'm like, what the nigga, go online, go in it. What the fuck are we talking about? Are this
Yeah,
is
prove it
this what
before
we're
you try.
arguing? We're arguing shit like that. So when it comes down to that, I discourage Drake fans to get up here when Kendrick drops and be doing the same shit and playing the same game. You're right. I rather things return to normal. If people are going to go that far off the deep end and this is how hip hop conversation has devolved, then let these guys continue to devolve. But I don't think that we should go back and forth and do the same thing to Kendrick. I'm not here to do that. If Kendrick comes out and he drops an amazing album, I've always been. I'm not one to just be like, oh, Kendrick drop everything he drops is trash. I will say my main point about Kendrick is he doesn't have the replayability. I'm not returning back to his music as much as a Drake, as much as a Lil Tecca, Travis Scott, but that's just my taste. That's just my taste. He's just not that. It's just like, okay, I got the message, and but I always push that we should be honest. I don't never want to go into the music. I'm still gonna, if Kendrick drops, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna play it as a fan. You know what I'm saying? He's never been in my top five, but as a hip hop fan, I'm still gonna say, all right, if anything, if there's gonna be anything I'm gonna speak on, if there's gonna be anything that I'm gonna judge, I'm gonna listen to it in its full entirety, start to finish, how the artist intended for me to listen to it. So I never want to push that we should just mudsling until the end of times. I actually want hip hop conversation to return to some type of normalcy. But I mean, as long as people are just out here saying crazy shit, there's gonna be Drake fans saying crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be people who have these batteries in their back and feel like they have to keep. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I cammed up. I mean, I've always been doing my show, but why I kind of turned up a little bit more and started doing, being a little bit more consistent with things and feeling like I have to be a voice to combat, because it was just overwhelming, the narrative of what was going on around Drake. It felt like there was really nobody really speaking up in his defense, and even like you said, you can get to the Andrew Schultzes and the Rory and Malls and things like that, but I think that it was just an overwhelming wave of, oh, Kendrick is is destroying him, in which I don't even think Kendrick won the battle. If I'm being real, Drake outbarred him. And that's just me. I don't even think we had the time to really look at the battle for what it was. So, but that's a whole nother argument.
Yeah, I mean, that's subjective. Like the bars thing, you're right. That's a whole different argument because I don't know. I kind of felt like the battle was split into two, where like that, uh, push ups, tailor made, Euphoria, 616. Like that was those two kind of trying to spar back and forth with the bars. Once you start, calling niggas girls bitches and accusing them of fucking your homeboy and shit, like I kind of felt like Kendrick was just like, well, fuck all this bar shit. I'm just gonna like literally try to rip your reputation apart because he felt that's what Drake was trying to do to him. So it's just like, who gives a fuck if I flip Michael Jackson and Joe Jackson at this point? Like, nigga, you just accused me of beating my wife after telling fucking Kai Cenat to stay on stream so they could react to you telling everybody that I beat my wife and that she fucked my best friend. So I mean, but that again, that's neither here nor there. This is what I'll say. I gotta get ready to go.
Yeah,
But
no problem.
bro, uh, I don't know, man. I just because like my favorite YouTube right now is D-Fran, but like I kind of disagree with him because he brought up the same clip that you brought up and
I
talking
fuck
about,
with
and
him. Yeah.
I just don't understand like how this is like an important album. Like I get y'all want to apply the same pressure to Kendrick that was applied to Drake. Like I get it, but realistically, I just don't see how this is more important than his first album. First album, Good Kid, Mad City. Well, not his first. Section 80 was his first technical studio album, but like his first major label studio
Maybe his
album.
second album, I would say to Pimp a
Yeah,
Butterfly.
right. Okay, but yeah, that's the follow up. That's that prove that first one wasn't a fluke. It wasn't you're not in the sophomore slump. Boom, whatever. Like that went off. Like T-Path, whatever you may personally think about it, is generally considered a classic hip hop album, whether you like it or not. Like I can go either way. There are days I think it's overrated. There are days where like I go back like maybe I'm tweaking because I hear so much is good. I can kind of understand the concepts of it. But okay, fair enough. Then it's just like, all right, I can say that this upcoming album may be more important than Damn. I can see that. But then that nigga went away for 5 years, bro. That nigga went away for 5 years. Drake was fucking killing it. Cole was fucking going on a fucking that's when he started his feature run.
Feature.
Like the new generation that like started to pick Travis. Like bro, Kendrick was like, oh, okay, does this nigga still have it? And Mr. Morale dropped. And if you're into Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I get it. But just genuinely speaking, consensus wise, it was disappointment from a commercial standpoint. You can personally relate to that album. It's beautiful, I get it. But from a commercial standpoint, from a viability standing, from a mainstream / commercial standpoint, that was an album that was very important and it didn't do very well. Which is again why going into the battle, Kendrick was kind of at a disadvantage because while Drake wasn't at his peak, like when it came to views, the nigga had been running shit and like nobody was fucking with it. Like I'm not a stan. I can admit to just facts. So the battle itself was super important because bro, if Drake did to Kendrick what Kendrick did to Drake, that nigga's career actually would be over. Kendrick would be done because you can't go from Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers being a commercial disappointment. Drake asked you to be a feature on First Person Shooter, which became a number one. You decline it, diss him, and then this nigga bodies the fuck out of you. Like, and then
That would have
goes on
been
the
bad.
Super Bowl and the world tour run. Kendrick, like, it would be a Meek Mill situation times 20. So that was a big deal. The follow up to the Drake beef with GNX was a big deal because it's like, okay, like that went crazy. Not like us went crazy. Euphoria, which people forget, like went crazy. That shit was like in the top 10 on the billboards for like fucking 9 weeks. Like Euphoria was not like a super commercial record. It went crazy on the billboards compared for what it is. But it's like,
That was
okay,
the
what's the
best song
follow up?
that he put out in the
I
beef,
agree.
if you ask.
I agree. Then it's like, okay, GNX dropped. And it's like, bro, like, I don't understand. And that was like what I was posting, like, when the post that you responded to. It's like, bro, like, what else do you want this nigga to prove after the battle when it comes to an album? Like, if you in your wildest dream was like, okay, this is the
That he
follow
can
up
do it
to the
without
battle.
Drake. And
But
that's
but
just
see,
the
but
sentiment of most
cool. But
Drake
guess what?
fans.
But he did though, because he did that with Damn, 600K sold first week.
That's not his
Done.
peak. His peak is GNX. His peak is not like us.
Oh, no, but you said can he do it commercially without Drake? He may not be able to hit that same ceiling without Drake, but he
And
still hit a
but
high, but he
that's what
still hit a high enough
and it might
ceiling.
not be me, but that's what people are going to hold against him. That's what I
But
mean by
how?
him being having the most scrutiny. If he does, and like I said, it's not necessary. I don't give a fuck. Let me just say that first and foremost. If he does the same numbers that he does when he dropped GNX and Not Like Us and all of that shit, then cool. But if he doesn't, then I would be like, but at the same time, what most Drake fans are looking for, and I just know because I know my owls, they're going to be looking for him to keep that same consistency that he had when he dropped GNX and when he dropped Not Like Us. If
But
his
that's a
numbers aren't doing that, they 100% are going to scrutinize him. They are. I
right,
know they are.
but that's irrational though, bro. Like that's Twitter war shit, bro. Kendrick Lamar is not Drake. Like he's not. I get the Kendrick fans said that shit, but you agree that shit is stupid. Kendrick Lamar is not Drake. When I say his ceiling, like Kendrick proved with Damn, he has an extremely commercially viable album. That album is his peak when it comes to a commercial standpoint without Drake.
Mm.
But it's not even just Drake. Like I don't even want to do that to Kendrick, where it's just like do it without Drake, because that was a perfect storm, bro. That was the beef. It blew up virally. Then GNX dropped. Then the nigga did the Super Bowl, and then Luther went crazy. Like you can't attribute the success of something like Luther and that tour
Even with
to
that,
to Drake.
like it's like I know you gotta go, but I look. I took personally. I said one day, you know what? I'm about to drive from New York. I'm gonna go to South Carolina. I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna listen to the radio,
Oh, that's a fucking drive, my
and
guy.
I'm gonna listen to the radio in every city that I drive through and see what they're playing. But all I heard was Kendrick, Luther, SZA, maybe some Glorilla thrown in it, but that was it. I
Okay,
have never heard Kendrick played that much in the Carolinas
okay,
before.
okay, real quick. Let me ask, because I like when people bring that up because it's funny to me. Let me ask you something. I know your. I feel like I know your answer, but I don't want to assume. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it is that you heard Luther so much on the radio?
I mean, iHeartRadio just settled on a payola scandal.
So
I believe I
it was all
believe it.
payola.
I think the song was that I think the song was that good, right? But
Yeah.
what about Luther was so good that wasn't good about, I don't know. I mean, I can point to so many records. Giveon dropped an entire album. Why didn't we play the fuck out of any of those songs? Rather Be by Giveon, 20s, which that was in rotation a little bit. There was so many things that could have been played and played to that degree. I'm not gonna sit here and Luther was pretty good, but was it better than all of those songs? Real R&B songs that niggas was putting out
It,
from
it's not about
actual
it being.
R&B artists?
It's not about it being better
And
though.
then
Like
on top of
that's
that,
my
it
whole.
wasn't just on hip hop radio, it was on
That
every
that's
fucking
my
radio.
that's my point. That's what I was about to get to. It's not about it being better. Like that song was cool. I liked it, but that's not something I'm necessarily revisiting. But bro, it was a quintessential radio single, bro. It was short. It was like a little bit less than 3 minutes. It could cross over to pop radio, to R&B radio, to hip hop radio, to best of radio. It had a Luther sample on it. It wasn't crazy explicit or talking about anything crazy. It had a very positive message. It had a very, very catchy hook that was very simple but sung and sonically melodic. Like it was a perfect radio album. It was actually a brilliant play by Kendrick. Damn the quality of the song, because half the shit you hear on the radio, like the reason all these pop girls and these country girls are dominating the radio, it's just because of the type of songs that they make. Kendrick strategically and smartly understood. I get a Luther Vandross sample. I get SZA singing on it. It's a song made for radio. Radio is king.
Okay, so
Regardless of what people want to say, radio has a very, very big impact. The reason Drake is not blowing up the way Kendrick, quote unquote, did in 2024 is because his shit's not getting played on the radio like that. And it's because Drake shit now, because he's so big and his streams are so big, he doesn't really care about making songs for the radio. Kendrick smartly was just like, okay, like my second big hit is going to be a radio smash. They're gonna play the fuck of that shit on the radio. Young people may not vibe to it, but guess what? Older millennials, their parents listen to Luther Vandross. They
They
can
were,
rock the
yeah,
fucking
they
shit.
was vibing to it for sure.
The
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 old
the
folks was
the
definitely vibing. When I'll give them
exactly,
that. But my
bro.
thing is, would that get the push that it did, or would that song do what it did had the beef not happened? Had Kendrick just dropped this standalone, him and SZA, would it still have the same number?
The exact same numbers, no. But I also don't think Iceman would have had the exact same numbers if Drake wasn't talking about what he went through on the beef with that as well. Like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, my guy. Like, yes, like Kendrick did, springboard off the momentum of the battle, but
I
Drake
don't think
also,
that. I don't think that. First of all, I think Kendrick. I think Drake. It was more. This album was more important for Drake than Kendrick's next album is going to be for him.
I agree
It,
100% with
people
that.
are
100.
way more willing to just say, "Oh well, Drake is whining. Drake is this." First of all, we got to be honest. It was the bars. It was the rapping. We had Wayno of all people saying, "Damn, I didn't want to hear this nigga talking about this shit again." Just like how everybody was saying. They was all saying, no, we don't want to hear Drake talk about this shit. He needs to move on. This, that, the third. But why did they accept it? Because the rapping was that good. So
Facts.
I don't
Facts.
think we can just say it was because he was talking about Kendrick or dissing people and shit. No, it was because this, if you ask me, there has never been a Drake album where the rapping has been this potent, this good. I just for him to drop an album at this stage of his career, that's why people are fucking with it. If you ask me,
No,
so
no,
many people had to come and bend the knee and be like, "Well, I didn't want to hear him bitching about Kendrick anymore, but goddamn, he made it sound good." Like, you
no,
feel
no,
me?
real shit, bro. I don't disagree with that. Like, I feel like two things can be true at the same time, bro. Drake was going crazy on that album with rapping. This is like, I've said this. Like, you can check my tweets. I've literally said this is like the best rapping I've heard from Drake, like in over a decade.
Okay.
This is my favorite Drake album since Scorpion. So I agree. Like the bars definitely, definitely play a very big role in how this album is being received. But that can be true, and we can also point to the fact that during the rollout, Drake is doing a lot of like subliminal shit, the Pinocchios and the imagery
Mm-hmm.
and the pose and the plot twist and all this shit, where he's feeding into it. He's dropping the Fighting Irish freestyle where he's dissing LeBron. It sucks, but we know who he's talking about. He's talking about what did I miss, and he's talking about the pussies who tried him. Well, we know he's talking about LeBron on that shit. So,
But that's always been Drake as well. I
well,
mean,
yeah, but it's more potent now because people are more locked in.
think about the track with him and Jack Harlow. That nigga was talking about Kendrick there. He
Yeah,
was
but look
talking
at
about Pusha T there. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
He's never gonna let any of this shit go. That's just him. He's gonna always rap about this shit.
very true. But if you go and look at Drake's like daily streams, I don't think Churchill Downs is like in the top 150, bro. Like I don't think it's been that for like a very long time.
No, I'm not
Like
saying that to say that it's this commercial hit still. I'm saying to say that Drake, the content that's in Iceman is regular Drake. Drake has not, he didn't do anything different there. He's not talking about any new concepts. Drake has always been shitting on niggas, talking shit to niggas, dissing niggas.
for an entire album in that depth, what album can you
For an
comparatively say
entire
that?
album like that, no.
Yeah,
For an
now
entire album like that,
that's
no.
yeah, that's my point. Like
But that's
that was the
exactly,
point I
as a
was making.
fan, that's exactly what I wanted.
I get you. I got you. But again, that's my whole point where it's just like Drake understood that's what his fans wanted, which was him to address and diss all the niggas that they felt slighted him. And that contributed to the popularity of the album.
Facts. Facts.
That's all I was
I mean,
saying. So,
if you talking, if you looking from that angle, I mean, I guess I agree. That's facts. I
so
mean,
that's my point. So
he
it's just
checked
like,
every box on my list when it came down to the album. That's why I think right now it's like one of my top 3 Drake albums.
I feel you. So then to the same degree, it's like, I don't understand why we're going to be like, well, then why can't Kendrick do it without dissing niggas? Because guess what? If Kendrick's fans now want to hear Kendrick
Because
respond to Drake
this is
and all
not
the
Drake's
criticism,
peak. This is not Drake's peak. He's done better than Iceman. He's
But why
seen
does that
higher
matter
heights
though?
than
Like,
Iceman. Kendrick
but
has not proven he's not proven that he can see these heights without Iceman. I mean,
but
it's just a fact.
no, that is a fact. But let me ask you this: why is that relevant, bro?
It's relevant because a lot of his fans make this point as if Kendrick didn't do all of these numbers and do what he did because he was dissing Drake. And I have to agree with that point when we're arguing that, because it's like, I get it. Y'all are gonna go and say, oh
Oh,
yeah, he did
okay.
this and the numbers in the
Let
tour.
me.
He did. Oh, now we like. Oh, now y'all like numbers. Now we like
Oh
pointing
yeah,
out
bro, that
numbers.
shit is Yeah, they're hypocritical when it comes to that shit. But you're not gonna get no argument out of me. Last thing I'm gonna ask you, then I'm gonna get up out of here,
Yeah,
bro. Just
yeah.
real quick. Let me ask you this. So, because I disagree vehemently with that last part that you made. It helped a lot, but it's not solely because he dissed Drake. Joe Budden dissed Drake 3 times. Didn't nobody give a wet part about that shit, nigga. Pusha T dissed Drake. That shit literally did come and go. Like that shit did not propel Pusha T to his commercial peak.
Mm-hmm.
Making a murderer did not fucking propel Joe Budden to his commercial peak. Dissing Drake literally dropped Meek from his commercial peak. Fucking Common dish Drake, that shit didn't do shit. Like a bunch of people have dissed Drake and did not see a commercial peak. So when you attribute that strictly dissing Drake to Kendrick Lamar's commercial peak, it negates the fact that Kendrick Lamar's work and his songs resonated with people in a way and crossed over mainstream in a way that Rick Ross Champagne Moments dropped. Like nobody listens to that shit. Half the people
Mm-hmm.
forget that shit ever even came out. If I were to ask you right now, bro, what's the name of the song that Weeknd dissed Drake on?
Shit, yeah, you're right. I feel that. I,
What's the name of the song that Rocky dissed Drake on We Still Don't Trust
yeah, we don't care. That's mid skip skip.
You?
mid
Literally,
mid mid skip
nobody
skip.
knows. So if that's the case, then Kendrick must have done something differently than just diss Drake to hit this kind of commercial peak.
Well, I kind
You know
of
what I'm saying?
answered this question before, and then like I said, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna let you go, but um, Kendrick, we've never seen Kendrick battle tested to this degree, if at all. Uh, I made the analogy to say that Drake experienced his Trump moment. Drake experienced losing because people hated him that much. Just like Trump, I feel like Joe Biden got elected. And I don't know how much you're into politics, but me personally, I feel like Joe Biden got elected because people hate Trump that fucking much. I don't like no fucking Joe Biden. I didn't like him. I didn't vote for him. I didn't want him to be president. But niggas hated Trump that fucking much that we put a half dead nigga in the seat. That's how much we hated Trump. So I attribute that same type of energy to what happened to Drake and Kendrick. People hate Drake so much to the point that, and literally, it's undeniable. I have literally screenshots of people making multiple pages of and paying for these pages. They all got verified badges, all that shit of fuck Drake fans. I fucking hate Drake. Drake died. This, that, the third. Wild shit I've never seen in my life. People really hate him to that degree. I haven't seen people hate Kendrick that much, but people really hate Drake that much. So, and on top of that, we've never seen his true fans, of course, have never seen him battle tested to that degree. So, of course, they are super excited, and I would attribute it to the first guy that we seen apologize. I don't really know the dude's name because I don't watch him, but he was the first one who came out. His clip went viral for apologizing, and I feel like a lot of Kendrick fans were in that headspace of just that pure excitement and just, oh shit, Kendrick's actually doing it. He's actually going at him. He's actually stepping on that stage. He's actually addressing him directly. Oh, it's actually fucking happening. The two biggest guys. So that excitement as well added and fueled to it. So that's what makes me say yes, it attributes to it being Drake. And it's not just because it's Drake, it's also because it was Kendrick. It's also because it was
That,
Kendrick
that was
stepping
that
up
was
to
just
it.
what I was trying to get to. Because
Yeah.
I agree with you, bro. Like yes, like there is a big factor. The villain, quote unquote, because they view Drake as the villain. The villain is just important as the protagonist. So I get that in their eyes. I do understand that, but I just feel like there's an underselling of just what Kendrick did. Like that was a good ass fucking record. Euphoria was a
Great.
very fucking
I
good
bumped that
record.
super heavy.
Like literally, Euphoria was a great record. Not like us is super played out now, but like at the time, like that shit is crazy. You can literally just look. I remember on Twitter, I remember the reactions like, damn, like this shit actually goes crazy. GNX was actually a really good album. So I don't know, bro. Like I
Yeah.
hear you. I
The
feel
hip
like I
hop
could
fan in
kind of
me
meet you
doesn't.
halfway,
Yeah, facts. The Drake
but
fan in me doesn't override the hip hop fan in me. I still had every song from the Beef on my playlist in order and listened to all of them shits every day as if these niggas was rapping back and forth for the first time. So like I said, the Drake fan in me doesn't override the hip hop fan in me. But you know, I agree. I think we somewhat meet halfway. I kind of feel bad for calling you a K-bot now, but you know what I'm saying.
it's
I,
Twitter, bro. I get it, bro. I
I
don't take it personally.
yeah. I'm glad we could have this conversation. I know you got to go, but you know, I'm glad that we could talk this out, and I think that, and this is why I said, fuck it, let's just drop the link. You know, I think we should have more conversations like this to return hip hop back to a more normal place. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always one. Like I said, I return energy. If you would have came on here and been like, you know, fuck that pedophile, I would be like, okay, well, we're getting some clips tonight. But you know,
Nah, bro.
I never turned down having a great conversation and a level-headed conversation with real hip-hop fans. You know what I'm saying? So respect to you. I appreciate you coming out on the show. And again, I know you got to go, but if you want to shout out your page or your channel, anything like that, let people know.
Nah, I appreciate it, bro. But yeah, I'm about to hit up out of here, man. Yeah, it was a good conversation, bro. I'll hit you up later.
Yes, sir. All right, appreciate it though.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Yeah, shout out to my boy for popping on and having that debate. Yeah, I think that was pretty good, guys. I think that I'm glad that we can have conversations like this. And I encourage more conversations like this. And again, if I'm talking to somebody who can be level headed, who can, you know, call things how it is and keep the facts straight and just be objective, be honest about what's going on in these YouTube, X, Instagram, the internet streets. If we can be honest about what's going on in this reality and the things that's happening here, I think we will have a much better time as fans. I think we could come back together as fans and really have normal discussions again. It will never go back completely to how it was because some people are just going to be super, hey, fuck Drake, fuck Kendrick, and that's just gonna be how it's gonna be. But yeah, I appreciate having conversations like that. You know, it's always worth it in the sake of hip hop, and we got to continue to put on in that type of fashion. Okay. Again, if you guys stopped in to watch this, I don't know what happened to my X stream, but I'll go ahead and upload this to X so everybody on X can watch that. But yeah, if you sat down and came in to watch that, I appreciate you guys for stopping in. This has been the Doja Room with Dope Boy Diesel. I just wanted to open this up to do a quick debate. It was on the fly, so I said, fuck it, let's load it up, and that's what we did. Okay, so again, appreciate everybody who stopped through to watch that. Hopefully we have more like this, more people who are not afraid to step up to the mic and really just talk they shit, let they nuts hang, you feel me? All right, but again, appreciate everybody for stopping in. I'm your boy Dope Boy Diesel. This has been the Doja Room, and I'm out until next time.